Or it's me, I don't know.
If you don't tell about element.
All right, guys, welcome back to our Intercontinental Cup. We are here in round two, which is Bahrain of all tracks. Again, quite an amazing track. Again, we have two leagues here present, and again, we have a lot of competition for both leagues. We have IRC as well as Fast Friday Racing leagues. So again, we're gonna enjoy a lot of more action this time around. Again, we had some fun in Silverstone, and at the same time, I'm joined here with Deepak. Deepak, say hi.
Yep. Hey everyone, and so yeah, it's me Deepak who is gonna commentate on the action with Hap today, and we got Fury, who's gonna be presenting the action live to us, and thanks for him to step in at the last minute. So yeah, so without any further ado, let's have a look at the arena where we're gonna race today. Let's have a look at the track video.
And of course, it's Bahrain, so we have roughly 15 corners and three DRS sections. So a lot of action that we can see in this track itself. It's going to be fun, definitely. One race to watch. Coming to those corners, Deepak, I think I'd love to say that I think with this track, yes, there is a lot of action, but I think there are some key corners where we'll probably see someone fighting. Probably the first one, what comes to my mind is turn one. Of course, we
Yeah.
see a lot of dive bombs out there with DRS assistance. Perfect. Then we come towards turn four. Again, another perfect corner, which definitely allows, let's say, if you get dive bombed in turn one, you still have a chance to go for a move in turn four as well. Surprisingly, the track can be lenient in those situations. And then, coming back to I think 2023, I only can think of Fernando Alonso's legendary move on Lewis Hamilton at turn 10, right around the hairpin. I think that move comes to my mind, and we might see something like that, switch back, something to keep our feet up.
Yep, definitely. So because of DRS design and everything, so it's not like turn one the battle is done. So you're still gonna have the fight going all the way to turn four. And yeah, like you said, the driver trading in turn one could have a DRS helping, which could help him attack in turn four. So we could see some mind games and DRS chicken, like you saw with Leclerc and Verstappen as well. So yeah, interesting strategies to play out. And of course, yes, if you want to just brute force your way with tire advantage, you always got turn 10, which is a very tricky trail breaking zone. But yeah, when you get that right, again, it's one of the legendary moves that Alonso made. It's gonna be something similar. It's gonna be epic for sure. So yeah. But other than that, I think it's more of less gonna be a DRS train. It's about be a game of tire conservation, making sure that the tires go the distance and make sure you have good pace. I think that's going to be the game of name of the game today. But
Hmm.
again, a lot of things always throw up a surprise. It never goes to plan. So let's see what you're in for the stock today.
Yeah, definitely. Considering we could potentially get a safety car, who knows? Things might just be, trial strategies might be just thrown out the window. But again, that's something that our tires, sorry, that's something that our drivers would have to work with. And yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to get ready. And once everyone's ready, we'll definitely go into qualifying. Which, if I'm not wrong, it should be a short quali, right?
Yep, it is a short quali followed by a 50% race. So yeah, that's the event we got lined up for the day. And I think the driver should be starting the session anytime soon. We'll just switch to the session once it started.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, coming back to Silverstone, I mean, I think a lot of drivers had a lot of fun. Of course, there was a lot of safety cars to deal with as well. But coming down towards around to Bahrain, let me just go through team standings once, just to give everyone a good idea of where each league is at. And coming to the team standings, firstly, IRC is standing at 91 points, leading at the moment, with at least, well, basically, they've got scored one podium. And with the Fast Fridays Racing League, they have 73 points, but they've got one win in their bag and two podiums as well. So that's an interesting, turnaround in terms of the points. Even though Fast Fridays have been on the top step more often, they're still a little behind on points. But I think if they've got a chance to again dominate the podium, then we'll probably see a shift in P1 and P2.
Yep, last weekend Silverstone round was again looking to be one of those. I mean, yes, it was going to be a tricky round with heavy rain on that session start. But most of us predicted it's going to be just heavy rain till the end and nothing going to happen. But it was ultimately a very topsy-turvy race, and with both the servers for sure will be regretting all the lost chances because there's a lot of twists and turns in the entire race. So many safety cars and interventions, which really threw off everyone off their guard. And yeah, so overall, I think even FFRL would be regretting losing some points because there were a few unfortunate DNFs from their side. I think one of their Ferrari drivers was also doing really well. He had a free crash, he got collected in a pile up, and yeah, things like that would definitely be hurting. And yeah, hopefully they'll definitely be looking to one up that and come stronger today. Definitely, they have drawn first blood when it comes to wins, but just because of all the DNFs and stuff, and with all the post report evaluations, everything looks like I see whole stuff flimsy lead. But again, that could switch any moment. Considering the volatile nature of how we race here, it's like you never know what's going to happen next. So very excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Again, very exciting to see what happens in this race and the races that are coming as well. Again, speaking about the races that are coming, I think we have, I believe, three more races after this, and then a mystery race, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yep, you're really correct. So we've got after this round we've got two more rounds, which the tracks have already been decided with both the servers. And the
Mm-hmm.
fifth round, the track has not been announced. Now the twist there is that whichever server is behind the points at the end of round four, will get to pick the fifth round. So that they have a fighting chance, they could pick the strongest track that their drivers are, and
Yeah.
they will go with that. So that's the idea here. And yeah, it's looking to be an interesting battle so far. It's not a very big lead. It's just 20 points, which could flip over at any time. So yeah, we're looking
Uh,
forward to that.
yeah, it's definitely an ingenious idea to have a mystery track and at the same time leave it to the trailing team to decide. I think that makes it a lot more interesting because everyone's gonna wait until that fourth round ends in Interlagos. Once that checker flag drops, then everyone would be, let's say, tends to find out if the next track that they're gonna get, whether it's gonna suit them or not for the championship. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens in those races to come. And again, coming to our calendar, it's a brilliant calendar as well. We had Silverstone, which we had last week. We have Bahrain in this week. We have Suzuka next week, and then we have Interlagos. Again, two brilliant tracks as well coming forward. So don't miss out on that. Definitely join us, and we'll of course have a lot of fun.
Definitely, and then I would definitely say the track picks has been really good, and yeah, I mean, again, Suzuka might not be great for racing, but it's definitely a very difficult track that tests the driver's abilities, and it's gonna be definitely interesting to have a look over there because again, it's a very tricky track. You got this first sector SS, which is also like it's gonna demand a perfect line all through to get your lap time. So yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting one. And before we get ahead of ourselves. We have Bahrain happening today. Again, a very spicy racetrack, you might call it. In the desert, definitely going to be a lot more moves. And considering how the drivers are aggressive, we saw they were trying to do a lot of stuff in Silverstone. So maybe we could see some more interesting moves coming through. So, yep, it's very exciting times ahead. And I think we are on the game scene. I think we are on. Let's just confirm that once. And yeah, we are live. We are from live from Bahrain, and I think the quali has started. We see some drivers are already on their out laps. So we got Helium, who we are currently on board right now, and he is on his out lap right now. And we got some drivers starting their hot laps already. We got Am Carroll from FFRL, who has already set his lap with a 128.7 and goes provisional pole at the moment with the only lap time on the board. But I'm pretty sure those will tumble down as time goes on.
Definitely, and I'm quite surprised that a lot of these people have decided to come out this quick into session. Some people just prefer to hold on until, let's say, there's less cars on track, but I guess everyone's more interested in seeing what they can do, especially in these situations. And I'm wondering how many people are trying their luck on mediums because, again, these first few laps, you just want to get a good understanding of the track. You want to see where you're getting the most grip and where you're gonna have to ease out a little bit more in at least these early laps.
Yep, right. And as we see, Gaudi Poodle goes even with a 28.6. The FFR drivers are on it. Oh my god, IRC drivers Kapil Ace, who's in the top 5 leaderboard right now. Of course, there's only 6 times on the board, but definitely a lot more to come. They got everyone who is just scrambling to get their laps in. And like I said, it's a software run. They're essentially going on a soft tire rather than being like a medium tire and then just getting into the track. But some people do. I mean, personally, I do find that to be a kind of a strategy. You get your eye into the track, and then you go with a soft and a confident manner. But the second gone on soft, and Aradia has gone faster with 28.4. That's 2 times faster than the current the previous pole time, of course. So yeah, looking good.
Yeah, definitely looking great, I would say. And again, we are starting to see some times come on the board. Half of the field has given up their times. I think some of them have made mistakes because I can see 130s and 131s. So definitely those are not the times that you would see later on in this race. I think the max we would go up to, I think it should be 126, if I'm not wrong, somewhere around that ballpoint.
I'm very curious to what the times will be. It's Dark Knight, who's on a medium tire run, setting a 130.7. So definitely, yeah, he's trying to get himself warmed up to the event, and he got Helium crossing the line, and he goes P7 with a 129.1. So in the meantime, we also had Leader Pro who had climbed to the leaderboard to P6, and Moto now goes P8. So yeah, the times are all coming and down right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think Fast Fridays league at the moment is a little bit more prepared in this first few laps, but again, it can all change in the blink of seconds. So we'll definitely see what happens. And as we're on board right now, Tanish, who's crossed the line in P7, not a bad time for Tanish, 129.060. So that's good. And again, looking at the tires, we only have Moto, Vicious, and Dark Knight who set those lap times on those mediums. Again, they're just trying to understand the track a bit more, and they don't want to jump into those softs and destroy or sort of wore off those softs so quickly in this part of the session. Again, that's a choice a lot of drivers can make. It's all completely up to them. I think personally, I would prefer to be out on the softs all the time because just gives you a good idea of wait, there's a car slowing down. That's
That's the
gone.
Red Bull of Liverpool, and what's going on with it? Seems to be coming to a
Is he
crawl. Not
just?
everything's right.
That's quite weird because I think he must have control of his car. It
Must
looks
be
like he
some kind of
does.
a control issue, I feel like. And going back to the leaderboard, I think when you're watching the previous lap, we see Hakkinen has moved up to P1 with a 28.4, and he pips out Aradia by 2,000. So he is definitely on it. Hakkinen, who took the win last race, took the pole position, took the win in a very top set of race. He seems to be establishing his dominance up front. The provisional pole time at the current moment.
Yeah, these fast Friday boys are definitely doing right by the
Yep.
name, and they're definitely fast today.
Yep, it might be a Sunday, but it's still, I think it's Friday for them because they're definitely flying. They're definitely quick. Already got like already got like 4 drivers in the top 5, so they're definitely
Yep,
on it. And yeah, I suppose definitely need to step up at this point. But again, we are getting close to right also. There's 9 minutes left in the session. There's more track evolution to go, and a lot more tire strategy to come into play. So again, the times are not set in stone. I would say it's still a lot to come.
definitely. And again, we're down towards the. Okay, well, we had some technical issues, but we're back. And again, as we're on board, Kapil, who definitely is trying his best to get somewhat of a competitive timeout because I don't think Kapil is a P13 type of a qualifier. I think he's definitely a little bit more of a driver who's a bit more, let's say, above that stature, and he's definitely pushing for that lap time as we see him about to cross the finish line. Where is he gonna pop up into? Let's see, and it is going to be P9. Definitely an improvement, but a little bit more to try for, at least in that session.
Yep, and you might have noticed that his tire age is 4 laps, which means that it's not a fresh tires as well. So he
True.
definitely has got more time considering a fresh set and evolved track, meaning that he can get more time on the board, but so can others as well. So He needs to be very careful about it, and hopefully he can secure a top 10. I think probably he'll take it as a win. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact it does look like this might be, a domination, but we will see what happens. Again, there's still a lot to happen, and you never know. Some of these drivers tend to not push to the extreme until the last lap itself. I think a lot of people just prefer to hold it back to 99% for their initial laps because firstly you don't want to break your car in the first few laps where the track is not yet evolved, where the timings are not yet worth it to go for that 100 and I would say 110% out lap or sorry, a hot lap.
Yep, definitely. It's always going to be the last one lap. But again, that's something that again it's up to the drivers, right? Some drivers will feel like to go out there and give their full in the first lap itself, but some guys like to gradually step it up and push it all in the final lap. And of course, you don't have yellow flags or red flags to worry about here. It's not like the FIA is monitoring this. So obviously, there's not going to be all that issues. We see Williams of Gamer Boss now has moved up to P4 with
Yep.
a small improvement to the 28.7. So
Hmm.
yeah, things are coming down.
Definitely, those times are coming down. And again, as we're on board Pre the Pro, of course, Pre is definitely one driver that I would have expected to see get pole. But I think I'm not sure if he's struggling or he's just outpaced at the moment. He's definitely trying his best though. He's going for, let's say, a more I won't say obscure, but an orthodox line as he goes through. I think he's slowing down at this stage, is he? It's
He
weird
needs
with
to
that
be on it
camera.
at this point.
Yeah, yeah, with that camera angle, it just felt like he might have slowed down. It was a weird camera angle, but as he's going towards I think turn 11 at the stage, he's definitely gonna maximize out on that curb, try to get the turn in as quickly as possible. He definitely is pushing at the moment, but I don't think he's got the right setup for it. All comes up.
And and the
Mhm.
second Ferrari driver, Carroll, has moved up to professional pole right now, the 28.357. The Ferrari boys are on it since the last week. So yeah, I think as a Ferrari fan, you're going to be pretty happy by this.
Yeah, definitely I am. And again, it is lovely to see Ferrari back in P1 and P2 in Bahrain. The last time that probably happened was back in like 2022, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, we don't want to talk about that season. And that's Hakkinen again taking that pole position again from his uh, from his teammate essentially. And it is lovely to see Ferrari fighting for that pole position so effortlessly.
Yep, when we were on board that lap, Pre the Pro has finished lap and he comes in P4. So the Mercedes of Aradia and Pre the Pro are in P and 4. Ferrari have locked for the front row as it stands with Hakkinen stamping his authority once again with 27.8. That's a lot
Yep.
of gap from P1 to P2.
Yeah, that's a big gap. That's a lot to cover up, and I think that's going to be difficult for even the let's stop alone for the other Ferrari driver, even for the other drivers. It will be hard to cover that up. But again, you just have to put it all on those, all on the board to get a lap like that.
Yep, definitely. That's the proper push lap which he has done. I'm not sure if he's going to be staying comfortable because I think last week he did put up a lap early and he was pretty much comfortable. Nothing much happened. So it was all good from his side. So let's see if Daniel can challenge him or at least get close to his lap times. So that's going to be something interesting and worthwhile to watch.
Yeah, and it's also nice to see some of our RC boys in the top five now. I think we have three at the moment. We have Arathia, we have three, and we have Helium as well. And again, right behind him, there's Doddy, and there's Motomoto, Gamer, Bosna, Tanish, Z-Dave, Sandeep, IRC Dark Knight. And as we're on board P3 games, as he's crossing the line and he's jumped to P11, so that pushes Sandeep in P12, and Dark Knight's going back into the pits. Uh, Kapil looks to be, I believe Kapil might be starting his lap if I'm not wrong, but yeah, fair enough. Vicious is on his lap as well. In P15, that Alpine again, the Alpine trying to push further, but I think it's just not able to do so. And I wonder if he lifted there. I probably heard the engine lifting for a second.
I'm not sure, but from this it looks like he is pushing on. Can you tell me for a moment, please? see on the keyboard that is needed. No, he's definitely pushing. The ERS is on. He's definitely pushing on at this point. As he takes the final corner with all the curve on the inside. And
Oh, the fuel's gone.
Oh, never mind.
He's lost out on his fuel. I think that's why he had to come in. He would have been stranded out there.
Interesting. So yeah, calculate his trailers properly. So yeah, I guess he was just rushing back to get to the pit lane so he could start for the lap. But it does look sketchy from the start. There's 3 minutes left on the clock, which means that it's going to be very, very tricky for him. I think more like it's points for his quality attempt. Let's see if he can find some way through.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's finally getting ready for their last lap. Everyone's in the pits, and they definitely want to put on their freshest tire on there. And is it me, or do those tires, look dirty for a second, or is that just a new graphic to me?
It looks like inside and not outside. I hope there's a visual glitch and these guys are not too hothead. Which is it. I hope that's not the case. And as you see, Ferrari's second driver, Perez, is out on his hot lap. And I think Elliott is now heading out, and it's going to be a match number 2, the line to, of course, be the last person to cross the line, but not to be unable to cross the line. So it's a fine balancing act. Of course, you don't want to be having traffic in front of you who are on the left because they're not obligated to move out of your way. So a lot of this is proper crunch time with everyone involved, and you can see already going through it's proper crunch time at this moment.
Yeah, that's one thing these drivers will have to manage is that traffic, because again it's not a session where we have Q1, Q2, Q3 to manage traffic in the best way possible. We have one session, and that means basically all 20 drivers will be on track for that last lap, and it's definitely going to be a session. As we see the Ferrari's come out in a good place where he's not going to deal with any traffic as such, and that's why he's slowing down, just to make sure that last bit of traffic's gone as well. And now he goes for that push lap, as he's probably going to enable his ERS right now. That's his ERS working. He's pushing for it as he starts the lap, and again, his main focus would be to get turn 1, 2, and 3 perfectly. You don't want to push the car a little bit too much so that the rear slips out, and he's definitely a little more conservative, but trying his best at the stage as he goes up to 6th, 7th, and 8th, and DRS active for this part of the track. And we're definitely seeing the Ferrari is definitely pushing at this stage. He definitely wants a pole position from his teammate, and it does look quite beautiful, that Ferrari on track. I would have to say, under these bright lights, that car is looking stunning as he passes through turn 10. Again, he trying to stay off the curb as much as possible. Again, it's good to keep the car settled, keep it balanced throughout that lap. And we definitely see him towards the entering sector 3 at this moment. And again, I've lost my car. I can't tell you how many times towards these few corners. I think the back end always shifts out if you don't have a proper setup, and that Ferrari definitely has the setup it wants at this stage. It looks completely balanced out, completely in control, and the driver is ready to cross the line. Where will that Ferrari car push out? Is he gonna get pole position? And he's just out there in P2. And
he's improved by a 10, but not enough to challenge his teammate. TheRealSD is winding up to finish his lap. Let's see where he goes, and he goes to PT 28P. So yeah, it's absolutely taken by Hakkinen for sure, and he's on a lap. So I wonder what kind of movement he's up for.
True. It looks like all the drivers are improving. And Aradhya, that's quite sad to see that Aradhya's invalidated his lap, so it's done for him as he moves out of the way for the other cars. I think those were the Saubers.
I think the Sauber of Destroyer track has been on the P10. So that's a good lap from him. He's moving up to the top 10. Let's see where this Haas pops himself in. And I think there's a lot of improvements. So he goes to P16. Into the pits. This is Williams going across the line, and he also does not improve speed in P12. That night coming around, and where will he improve? Or will he even improve? Let's have a look. Oh, never mind, he has abandoned the lap.
Wow.
So probably it was not an improvement, but that was a very late abandonment. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, considering the fact that that Radhya lost out on his last lap. Gaudi has taken P5 from him, so that's definitely a bit more of a challenge. And I've forgot to mention this, but I think Helium's in P2 right now,
Yep,
and
yes,
that's quite
qualies
insane
and
now.
it's almost close. Still, Hackman has got like almost up to Helium, so again, a very strong quali.
Hmm. Definitely from Helium. Again, Helium has been quick in the past, so if someone has to give it from IRC, to Hakkinen, it'd probably be Helium. And I have to say that name is quite genius, Hakkinen, and the pace, he's got the pace of Hakkinen as well to match for it.
Definitely. And yeah, with that, our quali comes to an end, and we've got Tony Hakkinen once again taking the pole position for FFRL from the Ferrari, and you got Helium in P2, Amcar in P3, Pre the Pro in P4, and you got Gauri Pull in P5, Aradia in P6, Motomoto in P7, Tanish P8, Gamer Bosna in P9, Destroy Track in P10. That rounds out our top 10, and we got Sandeep in P11, Z-Dev P12, P3 Games in P13, Vicious P14, and can you scroll down, please? Let's have a look at the other guys as well. And we have Dark Knight in P15, Couple in P16, and Fly PP in P17, and Master in 18th, Incumbent Wolf 19, Mindful Tinker in the last position. And yeah, both the AlphaTauri boys are stuck in the back of the grid, but hopefully they will be hoping for better luck throughout the race. They definitely did not have the better luck last time around. They were having some crashes and it was a bit unfortunate. They'll hopefully expect a reversal of fortune this time around, and so will the Ferrari driver of M. Carroll as well. Like I said, he got wiped out in an unnecessary incident which he was not even involved in, so he would definitely be hoping for better luck. And considering that turn one, it's a very the nature of turn one is that it's a very wide track and it just narrows down to turn one. It's going to be an absolute choke point and it's going to be carbon field
Mhm.
flying all over the place. And hopefully the drivers are mindful of the cars around them and leave them out of space. But it's always very difficult to do that. I mean, in a situation like that.
Oh, definitely. I think turn one's definitely going to be a choke point, especially for someone who's trying to decide to go three wide. I don't think, I hope that's not going to happen, but you never know. Somebody does, tries to go for an opportune move, and that just causes chaos, and that's probably going to be a case here, definitely in this race.
Yep, definitely. I mean, that could cause a lot of. I mean, again, you cannot win the race in turn one, but you can lose your race in turn one. It has happened to a lot of people, and let's see. No one. I hope no one falls victim to that. But again, considering the nature of this circuit, it's something that is expected to happen. So let's hope. Let's hope that the drivers have more spatial awareness and make sure that they don't go for any outrageous moves. Of course, it's all great and good when it's pulled off and it's successful, but when it fails spectacularly.
You know, I used to say it when I was racing back in the league. I used to say, you either want to be at the very start of the grid or at the very back of the grid. You don't want to be in the middle of the grid because that's probably where you'll have to give you know a lot of your race depends on the people around you, and you
Exactly.
don't want to be stuck on that.
Yep. And considering again, because of wide nature, if I get three wide, there might be even four wide. It has happened. So yeah, and it narrows down into turn one apex, which means that it's gonna be an absolute hustle for that apex. And you also got turn to apex, which is also a very tight left-hander right after this. So it's gonna be a major pinch point. It's gonna be a major action zone in the start of the race, and let's just hope that the drivers can keep it safe. I think last week there was a few crashes in the start. I think Destroy Track had a crash in turn one against Silverstone turn one, also being a bit on the
Right.
faster side. But we are here and we have started the formation lap, and Hackman leads us away. Let's have a look at the tires.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite good to see that the formation lap works once again. Because I remember when we were back in season 10, we had no formation lap, and it was quite a hassle to deal with the start, as that is. But it's good that the formation lap is back up again, and then perfectly. It gives all of us a good idea of where the tire temps would be for these guys, and again, it gives these guys a bit more control to, work on their tire wear as well as get their temperatures up. And sometimes it'll cause a little bit of chaos, but we'll definitely watch on that.
Uh, really, could you press D on your keyboard? Let's cycle through the details. Let's have a look at the tire details right now, please.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Those tires, they must have changed. See, I'm pretty sure I see mediums here.
Oh, there's a mix of
So
mediums and hards, and Gamer Bosma has gone all in with a soft start. So probably he's expecting some kind of intervention in like lap 7 or 8 or something like that, and he's expecting to make the most out of the salt. So he's gonna want to watch out for. And up ahead, it's all hard runners. So again, they're going to be having the worst warm up in the start, but obviously once it's all done, they're going to have a good long advantage. But again, it's all in the it's all in how the dice rolls, how it all falls down. Because safety car can bring it or flip it instantly. That's always the case. So, see, they're definitely hoping for a longer run. The hard runners, and you got both the Ferrari drivers on the medium not willing to take a chance. So probably they might use the medium to their advantage at the start. They got helium on a hard tire, hoping for a long run. So hopefully they have, they hopefully it goes out as they plan. There's nothing I do not like is something going apart in turn when having to rethink their whole strategy. That never stops being more stressful. So yeah, let's see how the start pans out.
yeah, I mean, it's quite they're quite trusting of the fact that there won't be a safety car at the first half of the race. I think that's a bold choice to go with the hards, but if it plays out, they'll look like geniuses. So again, we're just waiting for our last drivers to finally slot in. We have Mindful Thinker 9, and we see Dark Knight was disqualified from the race. Is that
Yeah,
it,
look,
or is
he
he?
had messed up his parking, so you're supposed to
Uh,
park right in front of the line, and then he had got ahead, so he will be slightly behind.
yeah.
And as we wait for the lights to come on, we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. We got Helium already pointing to the Ferraris. He's going up. He's trying to chop across, but Hackman has already got that covered, and we got the Ferrari poking on the inside. But Helium's got that covered, and he lunges down and takes the lead. He goes into the lead, and now Hakkinen is on his tail with that medium tire advantage. He's definitely going to try to make the most out of that. While Helium is going to stretch his legs and see what he can do. He's already going defensive into turn 4. And we can already see full chaos going on. We had another, I think there was a Mercer Speeder Pro fighting with Gaudi Poodle to turn 4. And they're still side by side through turns 5 and 6. This is not some place that you want to be side by side through. But yeah, looks to be a clean lap so far. But again, the lap is still not done yet. You can see still some more outrageous moves. Whatever Helium makes that decisive split. Now Hakkinen trying to one inside and he backs out of it. That would have been an insane move, but he was definitely looking for it. So yeah, that's it looks to be on the cards for now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Helium is doing his job at this point, and he's going quite defensive. He's not leaving anything on the table for Harkonnen to take that position. But you can see Harkonnen is on his tail. He's getting ready for it, and again, Harkonnen is on those you know uh, medium set of compounds. So he definitely has got a lot more pace on there, and Helium's definitely trying his best. Helium tries to cover. There's a bit more. I felt like they were about to touch, but yeah, the Ferrari makes his way through turn, without any problems towards the last turn. And again, it's just the raw pace of the Ferrari. But Helium is definitely trying something. Helium is side by side. Is he wasting all of his ERS right now, trying to fight this, trying to keep him from getting that position. He's lunging in. Oh, there's been contact between the Ferrari and the other Ferraris looking right for position 2 at this stage, and it definitely looks more spicy right now. Helium is putting a lot of pressure on Hakkinen, and I think Hakkinen shows that. Free is almost right there fighting against the other Ferrari. We see
And he's
a
going
lot
on
of
the
battles
outside
going
of
on.
turn 4. Will he make it or he's stuck behind? But he did have a sniff over there. He was looking to make it outside of Amkerla,
Mm,
but of course that did not happen right now. But yeah, this is getting very spicy, and Helium is being
wow.
the cork in the bottle right now. He's not letting Hakkinen run away with that medium tire.
Oh,
He's doing everything he can to block his lines off, and Hakkinen is throwing all weird shapes, trying to
oh,
upset Helium, but Helium is still just holding firm. So let's see how long his defense can last. I'm pretty sure once the DRS comes in, it's going to be a very difficult game. But
yeah.
everything he's doing right now is helping himself and the teammates behind us because once Hackland goes free, I'm pretty sure he's gonna stretch a full length and he's gonna be on a league of his own. So yeah, that seems to be the priority for him right now. Hold him up as long as he can.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying every trick in the book right now just to keep that car behind, but I don't think he's going to be behind for too long. That Ferrari is looking very quick, and he's waiting. I think he's trying to go for a move on the outside. Helium covers the inside, and Hakkinen has to back out. I think Hakkinen's just going to do the smart thing, which is he's going to wait for that DRS zone, or maybe he's not. Look at Hakkinen, his DRS is completely gone. He's wasted all his DRS trying to fight Helium. I wonder how much DRS Helium has as well. As we see Hakkinen trying to go for a move on the inside, and Helium pulls out of it. Definitely does a smart thing. I think he could see that Hakkinen wasn't really interested anymore in fighting
Well,
that
never
long for
mind.
it. And
That was not that case. He was playing DRS chicken there.
okay, yeah, I just saw that DRS flap just opened for him. But
Yep.
again, Helium, considering he's on those hard tires, can't do anything against a Ferrari which is in fresh air at the moment, and he's just flying through. Look at that timing. He's 7 tenths, completely gonna start pushing up for 8 tenths pretty soon. Yep, there he is, 8 tenths off. He's gonna be probably a second clear of Helium by the next yard zone. Yeah, there it is. That Ferrari is flying at this stage.
Yep. And another car that's flying is Gamer Bosna, who's already in P5 with the soft tires. And yeah, he's making the most out of those tires before they completely come into his head and go off the wall. But right now, he is making that work to absolute perfection. He's more of P5. He's definitely going to be hoping for a lot more to come his way, a lot more flashes up there that he can move up. And of course, at times, safety cars so he could be shut so hard for the end. Of course, that's all ideal. That's all, dreamland scenarios. For now, of course, his priority is going to be taking the DRS and maybe force Play the Pro didn't do a mistake. But of course, Play the Pro will be aware that he's on soft and that tire is definitely going to fall off any moment. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of dynamics at play at this point.
Yeah, and I think we might even see the other Ferrari go for a move on Helium as we see Helium's now defending against uh, Amak, right? Amak?
Yes, I mean, I'm Carol. That's it. I mean,
Amker.
I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but I'm really sorry I'm saying the name wrong.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what we're really here. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think Amcarol sort of sounds much better than Amak or something. I mean, again, the other Ferrari is definitely doing his job and trying to get that position, but again, Helium is on the defensive. And consider at this point that Helium being on the defensive so aggressively is making him lose against Tony Hakkinen. So, oh, that AlphaTauri has gone off the track. It's quite a terrible first few laps for the AlphaTauris as they're completely at the back of the grid. And so is Kapil. I wonder what happened there. There must have been some incident of some sort. He's 28 seconds behind everyone else. As we see,
Like a pit stop almost.
yeah, and so is
It was
Vicious.
vicious. I think
Yeah,
turn one did not go as expected for them, so they might have had a stop far earlier than expected. They're gonna be on the back foot hoping for some miraculous intervention, but it's always not that far away considering how close the pack is. Look at it,
yeah,
it's a full DRS shape all the way from P2 till P9, so it's always scope for mistakes, always scope for one little outbreaking maneuver ends up in a crash, so it's always there.
yeah.
That danger of intervention is always there. I'm pretty sure Game of Person is literally praying for some kind of intervention in a few more laps. Then it'll be the
Yeah.
ideal strategy for him.
Yeah, as we see again, Am Carroll 3 tenths away. He's gonna go for a move surely at this stage. He's gonna go for it. I'm always looking for it, but he decides against it. I think he wants to go for that move down towards turn four. I think that's where he is keeping his eye on the ball as he's getting closer and closer. He's in the split stream of Helium. He does look slower in the straights though. I mean, even with DRS, he was unable to catch up against Edelman. As we see a move from Gaudi Gupta out on the outside at turn four, I believe.
I think
That's
it was
a
more like the other way around with Aradia trying to pull a move on Gaudi and Gaudi holding firm on the outside. Does not give enough margin and just is prepared to take a collision and just stays up front. They're good defense and Aradia will definitely gonna have to try again. He's only got more space to do it, but right now he's still
Mhm,
P7 with his hard tires. So yeah, it's definitely
mhm.
frustrating for Aradia Gupta considering he also had a very unfortunate unit last week around with a very weak, you could say safety guy just teleported in front of him. There's absolutely nothing he could do. So yeah, F1 did F1 things, and yeah, he definitely be looking forward to get a much better result this time. Hopefully, the F1 game has the same thing in mind for him, and yeah, that's also something to be seen. But one thing that you're again seeing again right now is Hakkinen is just
Oh,
running away from this pair, and Helium is doing it has to be in front of Amgen. Amgen having DRS, but Helium is still holding firm. I don't know how, probably just I don't know, with this raw base or just a better setup or just using his DRS wise, whatever he's doing. he's doing it to perfection as he's staying in front of Sam Carroll. Although right now he does look to be closing the gap. He's close enough. He's going on the inside line and he sends it. And Helium once again backs out to take the DRS detection. And now he is going to be on the tail of this Ferrari and he's going to be having DRS up to the run up to turn 4. So that's some proper mind games going on here. He's offsetting the tire advantage. He's trying to go to the outside. Amkar is playing a defensive role, just parking his car in the middle. And once again, just parking it in the apex does not give the game enough space. And yeah, that's a good defense. And Amkar moves up to P2, and Ferrari have restored their order at P1 and 2. And now it's Pre the Pro right behind Helium. It's his turn to apply pressure right now.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think all the top five drivers up there, none of them have saved their ERS at this stage. I saw Hakkinen using all of. Oh,
DM
that's a lot of contact.
Hot. And that's Pre the Pro's race. Kind of messed up because I think game I don't know what happened. But they locked up order. He just went straight into meaning into Pre the Pro. And there was another contact which means his hunting is gone. So yeah, onto the pits he goes. He's definitely gonna have to do something else because he's in a hard tire as well, which means that he's pigeonholed himself into a very difficult position at this point. So only option he has is a medium, which is of course not gonna last till the end of the race. So yes.
Gamer Bonanza almost. Yeah, Gamer Bonanza almost had the safety car he was wishing for right there. If probably it was at some other corner, we would have seen a safety car come out. And we seized a lot of drivers going into pits. I think there was some being damage as well for the Aston Martin. As we see, again, Aradhya pitting, Tanish pitting, Motor pitting, and where is Pre the Pro? He's still out there? Okay, safety car.
One of the Alfa Romeos have DNF. I mean, it's a Haas, but yeah, Master GC, I think is DNF. I don't know where he has DNF. I don't know where exactly his car is.
No, I think it's at the.
Flashed out and he got a safety car intervention.
Huh. Well, I guess Gamer Boston had just got the safety car he was wishing for finally, and it looks like a smart move pulled by that Williams. That's up in P4, and he's gonna get a lot of more positions than he was hoping for in those first few stages.
Yep, he is now probably gonna switch to the hard and just hopes there is no more intervention and everything plays right. So far it has played right. Obviously, I mean, I think there is going to be a penalty hanging over his head, considering with that incident that he had pre the pro. But I think that will not be in his mind right now. Right now, he'll be thanking the stars. He's got such a good time safety car, so he's gonna get a hard tire and go for it. I see Mindful Tinker has got a penalty for speeding through the pit lane. He's got a DT, so he's got to do that. Go through the pit lane all over again, which means that AlphaTauri is not getting any better. So yeah, it's a very bad day to AlphaTauri.
Yeah, and one more thing I'd just like to mention, because I've made that mistake before. You cannot serve that drive-through under safety car. I think on one of my first races, I tried to do that. I had the safety car come out, and I started a drive-through, and I was like, okay, let's go into the pits. Ended up getting the next pit stop for no absolute reason, and then had to serve the DC anyways.
Ferrari has also come into the pits. Lots of Williams as expected. Has Hakkinen stayed out?
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah, he has. He's coming right towards the safety car right now. He's gonna be at a disadvantage. Don't go ahead of the safety car. I think I've seen someone getting disqualified for that before as well, right? That was one of these races.
Participating FIFA Connect had the honor of voting the safety cars because apparently for him the car was in the shadows. I don't really know what happened when he ordered the safety car and instantly got slapped with the DNF. So yeah, I would not recommend doing that.
Yeah, he got banished to the shadow realm after that, and even Hakkinen was close to that. I almost felt like he was gonna go ahead, and that would have been the worst way to end that race, to be honest.
Yep, definitely. It would be very, very horrible way to transfer him. As it stands, I don't want to draw any conclusions prematurely. But as it stands, he is definitely looking primed for the win.
No. We haven't considered this though. Carroll has finished his mandatory pit stop, so he's on his arts right now. He can nurse those arts to the end. Hakkinen still has to go for a pit stop.
That is true, but I am still, I don't know, and I'm not going to write the guy off anytime soon because Silverstone, we literally wrote him up. We're like, you mentioned a tire strategy. So it was the same similar call, then switched to Inter, stayed on with, and somehow he was still coming back. So I will say, write him off at your own peril. So yeah,
Well, I wasn't
I
here
have a
at
feeling that
Silverstone.
Am Carroll might be a rear runner for Hakkinen to stretch his legs a bit more. So let's see what kind of tactics are in play. And we have a role reversal right now with Helium right now on mediums and Am Carroll on hards. So I have a feeling Helium
Mhm.
might make teach me a lot of Am Carroll, but again, that's to be seen.
Is it too early for the mediums though?
It
I
looks
think it
like too
is.
early, but again, I kind of have a feeling they're hinging their hopes on another safety car intervention most likely. But yeah, like I said, mediums it's a little too soon for them.
Mhm. And again, yeah, if I was Hakkinen, I would probably tell my teammate to stall Helium as much as he can, because if Helium gets to Amcarol in the first lap or so, then he's probably going to be right behind Hakkinen, and with that pace of those fresh mediums, who knows? We might go for an overtake.
Yep, definitely. And we see the Alpha Data Mindful team are going for absolute broke with a soft tire again. So again, it's not making much sense. So I guess once again there seems to be a lot of hopes on another safety car intervention, which is always around the corner. So yeah, let's see. Right, so the safety car train is bunching up everyone. We've still got three more cars to catch up to the train, and hopefully there'll be one more lap for the safety car.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's wait and see. Probably if these guys catch up before 62, we might even see a safety car in this lap. But it's to be seen.
Yeah, considering Arathya is still in the race, you might see another safety car come. Yeah, but considering the team orders aspect of Ferrari, I think you might be right. I think Am Carroll needs to focus on keeping Helium behind more than overtaking Hakkinen. Considering that Hakkinen has to pit, he will have the race lead at one point or the other. I think his main focus should now be towards keeping Helium behind him as long as he can.
Yep, definitely. So he's got his role cut out, and at this point he's definitely gonna have to settle to playing second fiddle if he wants his teammate to take the second win for FFRL. So it looks to be the orders, I don't know, but still it's a bit of a puzzling call that Hakkinen did not go for a fresh tire set of hards. Because hards can definitely, I think, go for 21
Yeah.
laps. That should be a possibility. But I think he's probably hinging his hopes on another intervention, maybe some more chaos he's expecting, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's where we seem to be standing at this current stage.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting for Couple to join the back of the pack, and then this should be the last lap of the safety car. So, and I think that's pretty evident to everyone that's on the field at the moment. I think they're gonna keep basically get their tire temperatures up to have a good safety car restart, and it's all in Tony Hakkinen's court right now. The ball's in his court, and he has to decide how is he going to get that restart, in a perfect manner where he doesn't lose his possession to his teammate, and at the same time he doesn't compromise his teammate to Helium, because there's a lot. Wait, what?
There
Okay.
seems to be some kind of a network issue going on with a few drivers from senior countries in Europe. So it is some lack to be expected. So that's fine. You see, Kapil has gone into the pits and he's once again in the back of the train. He's yet to catch up. So how this game treats is there'll be three laps of safety car at the worst. Even after three laps, if no one is caught up, it'll just end the safety car and then just let them catch up. Or just catch up immediately, the safety car will
Yeah.
go in. I don't know what was the reason he put it again. Maybe he's trying to put an Aston Martin strategy where he just drives one lap with one tire and switches on to the other one. Hopefully, I think that's what he was trying to do, just get the tire rules out of the way. But again, it doesn't make sense considering he already had a stop. So, yeah, probably some damage
Yeah,
happened.
and at the same time he went on the mediums, which I don't think is the best tire at this stage. But again, we could be proved wrong by another safety car at the later stage of the race. We never know. Again, it's all up to guessing at this stage. You can either be the most genius tactician in that grid, or you're probably gonna look like a clown at the end of it. That's just the Ferrari way.
All right, all right. So moving on, we've got Deepak in this lab message. And we saw this last week as well. For whatever reason, there seems to be no making up gaps. Hakkinen is already he's on the back of the safety car. Would be recommended to increase some space, but I think he's backing off the pack a little bit. But I still think it might be a little too much. There'll be some throttle get applied by the game. Hopefully, that's not the case. And Hakkinen has sprinted off, and so as Am Carroll, and Helium's got a big gap behind now. He's going to be under attack from Game of Bosnia, who is going to be piling on as much pressure as he can. Helium already going defensive, and Game of Bosnia is following him, trying to stick to him, and Helium goes to the outside line, picks the racing line, and he holds on to the P3 for now, and now he goes on to the chase with Am Carroll. Now he's got the faster tire compared to the Ferrari driver up ahead. So he'll definitely be trying to make the most out of those tires at this point. And of course, Hakkinen is definitely going to try his best to help his teammate with the DRS when it comes active. So yeah, there's probably a lot of team games here, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. And considering Ferrari is in the 1-2 position, I think they're probably going to play with that team game a lot more than the others. I think Hakkinen, I think at one point was probably thinking of keeping Carroll in DRS, but Carroll's gone ahead of Hakkinen, and that's a move. And then the Hakkinen locks up. He's completely vulnerable to Helium right now, who's right behind him, and so is the Williams. That's a big mistake from Hakkinen. I'm not sure what happened there. But Hakkinen is completely on the back. Wait, what happened?
Yes, I think the position stayed up as it is. But yeah, looks like there's no team orders. I think you're wrong completely. So I guess it's
Yeah,
free for all at this point.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened there, but I swear I saw Carroll be ahead, but fair enough. Maybe Carroll was ahead and then locked up completely. Might have mistaken that. But yep, Helium is completely on the back, and so is that Williams, and again, all of them look feisty as hell. So is Carroll not following any team orders. I'm pretty sure there is no team orders. Those hard tires look perfect for that overtake as he goes on the inside at turn one. He's slowing down. He's covering that line. He's got a better exit out of that corner. And again, most likely the Ferrari of Tony Hakkinen wouldn't be able to concede. And the Helium is trying for a move as well. On the outside, he's trying to go for a bit more of a wider line as the Ferrari of Tony Hakkinen tries to defend against the Aston Martin. It's red versus green, and we'll see who comes out on top.
This is a dream scenario for Helium. He'll definitely be rubbing his hands at this point, considering that these two guys are fighting up ahead and they could actually run away with the win. So Helium will definitely be trying to make compound the misery at this point. And yeah, Hakkinen was on the older side, already struggling. Helium just avoiding it barely. Hopefully, he didn't have any contact. But yeah, he's definitely going to be piling on the pressure. And the is still not active, so it still stays as it is. But once the DRS comes on, it's going to be full on chaos, I feel like.
Oh, Helium is trying something. Helium is trying for a wider line. He's hoping for a switchback of sorts, and he's got the move done. That's a brilliant move from Helium, but now he has to defend against the Williams and the Ferrari as they're at the back of his drive shaft. And at this stage, Helium is looking strong. But no, this almost contact between the Williams and the Ferrari. It was a close call, and that Ferrari's not making it. He has to go into the pits because those tires are done at this stage. We know how long those mediums can last, and it's 13 laps, and that's a reality of the situation, and that's probably something Helium will have to think about later as well, as he is now on the attack for the other Ferrari of Carroll.
Yep, definitely. I think Hackney might have this. I think he might have had a few mistakes in the strategy side. I don't know what happened. He didn't block, so yeah, definitely that offside meant that Helium could make that insanely outrageous move through the corner, setting it up before and then just doing a switchback through one of the fastest corners on the circuit. It's very easy to lose your rear over there.
Yeah.
The confidence to go side by side was just immense. It definitely speaks volumes about how the tires just died off for Hakkinen.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it. He was losing his rears through every single corner. I think turn 10 was the most difficult for him because he just couldn't brake without locking up that tire. And I think that's what caused him to sort of decide that it's done, it's over, and he decided to pit. And that's a shame because that Ferrari is pretty much at the back now in P15. It's quite a shame for the driver as he's had a terrible first half of this race. After that domination at the front from after the safety car.
Definitely. You got the Haas of IPP and Dark Knight who has moved up the field. So they are trying to maximize their gains at this point. And as we are seeing that we switch on to the Williams, who is on the tail of Helium. And I think he's got DRS. Yep, he has got DRS, and Helium is outside the DRS range, so he is gonna be having no assistance to help him through here. And Game Boston has a peek on the inside, but does not attack, and it stays as it is. But again, there'll be another helping of DRS into turn 4, so there'll be a lot of action coming through. And we see another car being side by side through turn 1, and never mind, it's Aradia Gupta is now planning the pressure on Game Boston. So I think the Williams might have made a mistake, and yeah, Aradia is now in front. Yeah, great sequence of corners.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely feel as if in this position, I think Helium should probably be close enough to enjoy DRS, but not even, not try to go for that position because, again, his tires, he just needs to nurse those tires to the end. And the one thing he wants to do is avoid locking up. As we saw that, I wonder if that's a glitch or if that's actually the car locking up in those turns because I've seen that quite
You're not
often
sure
now.
of that at this point. Yeah, there'll be a lot of tire smoke, so the corner which actually pushing it like actually lock up or just something visual glitch. But whatever it is, if it is actually a lock up, then yeah, its tires are going to be screaming for mercy at the end of the race. Hopefully, it doesn't go into puncture territory. They'll definitely be hoping for some kind of intervention so that he could ditch these tires and go on to something like another set of mediums or maybe even a soft if he's feeling adventurous for the day. But yeah, as it stands, he seems to be slowly just making the gap up to Amkel. Right now, his priority would be definitely to get into the DRS range. And even if he doesn't make a move, just stick in DRS range, conserve DRS, save your tires, and just try to eke out as much as you can. So definitely that is gonna be on his mind at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I think I have to agree with you on that. Excuse me. As we see Z Dave and basically the incumbent Wolf trying to defend against P3 games, as we see Tony Arkanen get the fastest lap on those hard tires. He definitely feels to be the fastest on this track, but he's got a lot more positions to overtake before he even sees the podium.
Yep, a long climb stays in front. At least in Silverstone, I think you could say that certain situations were favorable in case with cars DNFing and a lot of chaos happening up front with a lot of tire shuffles. But here it's going to be a bit of a tricky task to do. Even though you might have the pace, DRS train is very difficult to move up through the positions. So we're going to be waiting to see what kind of progress he can make and his next one behind. And as a team, now that we are on to another DRS train
Yep.
handled by Destroyer Track, and Dark Knight is right behind, and this flight PPF class is trying to everything he can to unsettle Dark Knight, but nothing's really
Oh
happening
wait,
at this
there's
point.
caution. Wait, there's a car stranded. It's an AlphaTauri, I think. Wait,
An
Couple is
AlphaTauri
retired.
and
Couple.
Couple has DNF'd, and it's an AlphaTauri also spun around. Yeah, I think he's got a collision penalty, the 5 second severe collision
It's a
penalty.
virtual safety car.
Yep,
Importantly.
it's a VSC. And I think the
Oh, they're
drivers being
pitting.
mindful. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think he saw the chance.
Yeah, they saw the chance and they went for it, and this might bring the other Ferrari back in the game as we see almost half of more than half, I mean everyone's spinning at this stage. Sorry, as we see the Ferrari take back a few of those positions, and most of them were going on mediums. So pretty good time for that virtual safety car to come out, at least for these drivers. The Ferrari's still in P12, but I mean those few positions are important as he's now at the back of these medium runners. Wait. Why have people? Okay. So I was a bit confused. So there are still people who stayed out. Destroyer Dark is currently leading, followed by FFRL Philippe, and then Sandeep, Z-Dave, incumbent Wolf, who had that penalty come up. No, sorry, it was Mindful Thinker. Sorry, incumbent Wolf with the
Running like green flag and P3 games to get DP for exceeding the delta. So we saw this happening
yes,
last week as well, taking some of the challenges out of winning contention because of a DT at the late VSC. So this time it is P3 games who has fallen victim to that, and he has to serve a DT now. So which is
yikes.
quite a harsh penalty, but unfortunately that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened. Again, playing with your let's say, sorry, yeah, playing with your delta, you just have to be a bit more mindful that when that delta goes in that high level of negative, you just have to make sure that you slow down enough to catch up, and if you don't, it's just it's too risky to take take that chance.
Yep, and again, Ankle on the back of P3 games with the fresher tire.
Oh wait, we're
Can you
back
have a look at the
alive.
tires, please?
Yeah, and we're live as Helium is currently going for a move. He's pretty quick, and he's overtaken those two cars quite easily, I would say. And that's a decent move from Helium. I'm pretty sure he's. Oh wait, they're still fighting through, and Amcarol pushed Helium out of the way, and I think there's going to be a bit of an elbows out action that we see here. And Helium's definitely trying for a move on the outside, but Amcarol is definitely fighting that all the way through. He's keeping that defense up, and he's well basically reacting in a manner which making Helium. Oh wait, see,
This
oh,
one again, and oh,
that's the
what are the
Ferrari
odds
goal.
of this happening twice? Amkar literally got wiped in a similar incident last time around in Maxim Beckett's, and he once again gets wiped out after turn 6. My god, oh my god.
Wow, that was. I mean, even in that scenario, I think we had the. So sorry, we had the perfect camera angle for that because we saw that car, lose its rear, and then we saw Am Carroll coming in, and I don't think there's much he could have done at this stage. He was just destined to have an incident. It's been a rough race for the Ferraris, definitely.
I mean, I mean, I thought I was the unluckiest person, but I think Amkar might be in a very tight competition for that, man.
Yeah, he was, but unfortunately now the race has ended it for him, and Helium's up in P4. Ah, that's just rough. That's rough, man.
Yep, and we see these players are taking this chance to get rid of their hard tires, and probably they will all just go to a sort of new medium if available. That should be the case right now. Or is anything adventurous for a set of softs?
If I was probably in Tony Harkonnen's position, I'd probably pit and go onto those mediums, or probably the softs would be too much. I think the mediums are the perfect combine to be on right now.
And Vicious
How
has
about
got a DP for speeding on the pit lane.
uh,
So yeah, his race is not having a good end right now. And we see some chaos going on in the pit exit. People debating who's gonna be up front and up behind. I think they're letting the game's penalty system decide something that can be a bit messy. But yeah, I think they finally figured it out. And they're all maintaining that position there.
one winner I'd say from out of this entire race, at least up till now, is that Williams gamer boss. And I think that decision to go out on those soft tires at the start of the race definitely turned out well. He's been getting those safety cars to turn his game around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of. I think he's definitely gonna have to go and buy a lottery ticket today, with the luck that he's had, just getting the perfect time safety cars to just put himself up into a podium position as it stands. I think he started P10 or somewhere. So yeah, definitely a very bold strategy call. Again, it's one of those strategy calls that when it works, it's so
Yeah.
spectacular, but when it fails, it's just again fails in a spectacular manner as well. Hopefully, I mean, luckily for him, it has worked out in his favor, and he'll definitely be. We need to capitalize the most without any incidents at this point.
And out of nowhere, I see Tanish also in P4. I mean, Tanish been a silent killer to be honest, because I've barely seen him, and he's up there now. And well, he's gained 4 positions, but what tire is he on? I wonder if he just pitted now or yeah. So Tanish is on 2 lap old tires, perfect. So one more thing I'd like to point out is Harkinen decided not to pit, and he is currently on those hards which are 5 lap old. Now I think he's got a bit more confidence in his tires and his speed and his pace to ensure that he can get these positions from these medium runners. I think it might be possible towards the end of the race, but will it be enough for him to get P1? I don't know. And that we see Gamer Boss now going to the pits. What?
An interesting call. It's a very interesting call.
I am not sure what's happening here, to be honest.
I mean, he's literally thrown away a very good spot right now. I wonder what's the scene right now. They're trying to
Why?
disqualify. He's
But
retired.
no, he's not retired. He's
He's
serving his
throwing his
penalty. But
penalty.
why?
Okay. No, but still, yeah, he's literally throwing away a lot of positions right now, and he's gone to a set of softs again.
That's a bold call, and that's probably one of the bold calls that he should not have made. We'll see it by the end. I mean, I'm not sure if he heard us and he just wanted to, like, like spite one of the commentators. I'm not gonna deal with your commentator's curse, and he just decided to fit and destroy his face. But Who knows? Maybe it might work out for him. I'm not sure what that would be, but it's 9 laps. 9 laps on those soft tires to get all those positions that he's lost. I don't know.
There's a lot of positions lost actually. So I think he has the confidence to side through the field again. Because even if the five seconds hanging over his head, I think most likely he might have somewhat pulled a gap. Like hopefully, with all the chaos happening in the back, with all the mixed tire choice and everything. But I guess he just
But
decided to just get to the 5 second penalty as soon as he can. So yeah, interesting call. And he's now in P13. He's going trying to make the most out of those soft tires and work his way up to the top as much as he could. That would be on his agenda for the next few laps. And we see the cars are closing in. We've got the Alpha Tauri to come up, and seems to be some kind of chaos going up here. Cars are kind of slowing down and bunching up a lot more. We are still not in this lap, but I are already seeing such behavior. It's already like cars going fast and they're slowing down. They're not expecting for this to happen. They're doing their all kind of warm up. It's kind of throwing out some cars behind. I feel like so. Yeah, I think the safety car will be off for one more lap. We don't have a safety. Oh wait, now my safety car is in this lap. That's a very late, very late announcement. Because right now Helium has got a very big
oh,
task on his hand to get a very good restart on the hand. So there's no throttle cut as well for the pack behind. And you got Nayasi 1 2 3 with Tony Hackman in P4. I think Helium has gunned it. He has gone out of the final corner. And let's see what kind of restart is up to the guys behind. I think Hackman has nailed the restart. He is already
mhm,
attacking Danish at this point. As you Red Bull peels into the pit lane, and Danish is going defensive and he's doing all he can to keep Hakkinen at bay. But once again,
mhm.
Hakkinen seems to be having a better pace, but of course he's on a hard set and Danish is on a medium, which could tip the favors in his side. But there's still a lot more to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot more to be done, and I think Tanish has to play that team game right now of keeping Hakkinen as far back from, well, essentially Aradhi Gupta as much as he can, because I think Aradhi Gupta is something that Helium will have to deal with on his own. And Tanish has to play that smart game of keeping that Ferrari behind, which we all know that Ferrari is extremely quick. So Tanish has a lot on his plate, but I think Tanish is up to the job. At least he can keep him behind for 2 or 3 laps. And we see somebody locking up. I'm pretty sure that's Tanish or the car in front. Um, and again, Tanish looks to be a bit more on the side of. I'm so sorry, I lost my train of thought. But as we're following Tanish around, I think Tanish is doing as much as he can on those tires. I think he'll retain some, let's say, benefit from those medium tires compared to those hards for 2 more laps. But we could still see that Hakkinen is very quick on the straight. He doesn't even need DRS. He's trying to go for a move on the outside. Tanish tries to hold him. He goes defensive as we see the car backing out a bit, deciding not to go for that risky move again. With one Ferrari already out of the race because of an incident, we don't want the other Ferrari to go through the same thing. As we see a bit more caution from Tony Hakkinen, and we see Dark Knight, who was struggling at the middle of the race now, right behind Gaudy 980 Poodles, rear wing, as we see that McLaren sort of hunt that Red Bull. And I have to say, the McLaren of this season looks much better than the McLaren of 2023. I think that blue just makes it look like it doesn't have a. It's just too much color, to be honest. Too many shades of different colors. As we see action all around the race. I mean, Arkinen is definitely trying his best. He is locking his tires a bit towards turn 10, but I've seen a lot of drivers do that. So it's something. I guess it's a bit more difficult for them to manage those that corner, especially with the speed that they're carrying in towards it. But we still have a little bit more to see from Haken, and I believe he might at least have a shot at P2, considering that Helium is not pulling away. Helium is definitely nursing those tires towards the end. I think he knows that he'll have to be careful against the hard runner of Hakkinen. As we see, DRS is now enabled, and it's going to make Tanish's work a bit more difficult at this stage to keep that Ferrari behind. As we see, will the Ferrari go for a move? No, it's not. It's being conservative, and so is Aradhi Gupta. Aradhi Gupta in P2. Now he's close enough. Now he'll go for the move. Aradhya Gupta side by side towards turn 4. He's got the move completed. Now Helium has nothing to show for against Aradhya's pace at this stage of this race. And again, we see a bit of a DRS train forming, but that Ferrari is still very, very close to Punish. He's just 2 tenths behind now, 5 tenths, but it all depends on the exit he gets for these corners, and that's 4 tenths. As we see Helium trying to get closer and closer to Radha Gupta, but failing to do so at this stage of the race. Oh, as we see the McLaren going for a move on Vicious, if I'm not wrong. And he's trying to eye for a move on the inside, but is a bit too far away for that. As we see Dark Knight currently, I'm pretty sure that Sandeep overtook Dark Knight because if I'm not wrong, Dark Knight was trying to fight against Gaudi. But yeah, that's a brilliant move from Sandeep if he tried to go for a move on the outside of turn 10. As we see, Dark Knight definitely losing a lot of pace. He doesn't seem to be the fastest right now. I'm pretty sure it's something with the setup. As we see the other McLaren of Motomoto go for a move on that Haas, and Motomoto has to pull off because the Haas basically did leave enough space for a move to be there. As the Haas is now going for a move on Dark Knight again, Dark Knight just unable to show pace today. I'm pretty sure it's something with his setup or something that is causing an issue. But now, if I was Dark Knight, I'll let my teammate go by. Yep, perfectly done as the swap's been made. And Motomoto is now going for a move on the Haas. He's got on the inside line. He's gonna push the car off, and that's the move done. He's kept his elbows out, and he has fought his way through the pack. As we see Motomoto now in P9 heading towards Sandeep in that McLaren. And quite a beautiful sequence of corners as we see them fight for it. And Aradhya still in P1 with Helium, just a few tenths off. Again, not a lot of action out there as we see the Haas lock up. Uh, at least not a lot of action in the front of the grid. But there is still a lot of action in the midfield, I would say. As Pre the Pro is trying to get a move on Destroyer track in that beautiful Alfa Romeo Kicksaba. The Mercedes definitely trying to eye for a move. I think he's waiting for his moment, waiting for Destroyer Track to drop the ball, and then he'll definitely go in hunting, as we say. Right, and we have Sandeep. Sorry. Okay, and Deepak. Right. So Sandeep is definitely eyeing for a move as he has DRS and he's gotten the move completed even before the turn approaches, as Sandeep is now in P7 ahead of Gaudi Poodle. Yeah, Sandeep has shown a lot of pace, to be honest, and so is Motomoto, who's able to keep his car at the back. And now I think Motomoto might get an opportunity to take a look at overtaking the Red Bull as he's trying to overtake against the defensive Alpine. Destroyer track ahead of the field is, well, let's say, is not in contention for that position as he's quite far away from Hakkinen. Hakkinen is still maintaining his pace at this stage of the race. I think Hakkinen will start pushing towards the end. I think there's a lot more coming from the Ferrari towards the end of this race as we come towards. Whoa, that's a move from Moto. He jumps to the inside and he's pushing. He's keeping his elbows out, but the Red Bull is still on there as he moves to the inside of this sequence of corners, and the Red Bull still maintains that position, but Moto is still keeping that position there as he's pushed on the track, but he's still side by side with the Red Bull and now on the racing line. But the Red Bull still defending on the inside. Moto will yield, or will he? He's still there. They're still going side by side with DRS assistance now, and the Haas has come out of the fray with all this fighting going on. The Haas has taken the position for both drivers. That's insane. As the Haas is now in P8, that's quite a lot of fighting. We see Moto now trying to go for a move. It's a risky there. He's trying to sneak his nose in. As we see again the Haas defending on the inside, but Moto gets the move down on the outside. He's got a lot more pace than these other two drivers, and he's showing for that. There's a lot more intensive fighting happening here, and a lot more to show for. But Moto right now, oh, it was close enough. It felt like the car was going off the track, as the Haas is still defending against the Red Bull. And Moto now has to, well, essentially has to get the difficult task of riding on the back of Sandeep's DRS. Moto will have to push a lot more if he wants to get ahead of these two drivers. As we see in these middle intervals, that the Haas is still coming out to fight. Haas is still close enough to make moves, and he's following the McLaren in those rear view mirrors. Oh wait, I just noticed this. Tony Hakkinen has lost, I believe, well, two positions as we see Destroyer Track getting P3. I'm not sure what happened there. Probably some contact between the drivers. As we see Pre the Pro eager to make a move, but has to also defend against the Ferrari. The Ferrari is gaining a position. That's a move done, but Pre is still fighting for it. And he's been pushed off. I'm not sure what happened to Tony Hakkinen there, as he had to leave the track for a second at turn 1. Okay, and we see Pre the Pro and Moto making some moves, and Moto gets Sandeep out of everything. Moto has gotten a lot more pace towards this at the end of this race, as he's catching up to Tony Hakkinen at this stage. He's 2 seconds behind, but that's what he was a second behind Sandeep, and he covered that up in less than 2 laps. There's still 3 laps left to go, and Moto might be eyeing for a move on P6. A late resurgence for the McLaren driver, and we see some more action at the back. Gamer Bosna, who's in P12. And yeah, that's a lot more of a battle happening at this stage of the race. As Tanish is eyeing for a move on Destroyer Track, which will be insane for the Aston Martin team to finish P2 and P3, the highest among the constructors. And Destroyer Track is doing his best to keep that Sauber ahead as it is, but looks like IRC is going to dominate this race as well, with the top 5 being IRC drivers of Aradhe Gupta, Helium, Destroyer Track, Tanish, Pre the Pro. Alright, as we see, well, basically Tanish going for a move on Destroyer Track, and he's able to do it. Again, it's an easy move because of the DRS, but because of this, I think Pre the Pro is going to have a look at gaining. Oh, wait, there's an issue. There might be some contact, and that's the Gaudi's gone, and Sandeep's out of the race. And this is a bit too late for the safety car to come in, but yeah, that's Gaudi's race gone, as well as I'm pretty sure he must have had some contact with Sandeep, probably eyeing for a big move, and Sandeep unable to give space, which in turn led him to lose his front wing. We'll see at the later stages of the race, but right now Pre the Pro is currently trying to go for a move on Destroyer Track. He's trying his best to see if he can sneak something in. As we see, he's just 3 tenths behind, and the Red Bull struggling to meet the pace of the other drivers. As at this stage, I think he should not go for a move. He's trying something without the front wing. He's trying to go for a move, but he's not gonna have enough speed or enough downforce to even keep his car on the track. As we see the Haas taking that position of Philippe there. And that's quite interesting, as Moto is now in P7, but I mean, the Haas of Philippe will enjoy those 2 positions, as he's now in P8, and Gaudi's struggling at this stage. I wonder what he's going to do in the next half. He has to pit because he won't be able to keep his car out. And is he pitting? He's not. He's not even pitting. He's definitely staying out on that car without a single front wing on it. So interesting decisions by Gaudi, but again, he's going to be overtaken by almost everyone who's still out there, as Dark Knight gets a move down on Gaudi. Yeah, I think the race has dulled down a bit more, especially with the front runners, as they're just maintaining gaps at this stage. Oh, there's another caution light. There's another incident, as we say, and I can't spot what that incident might be. Maybe it's just a car spinning around, or probably a car going slow. We're not sure at this stage of the race. So sorry. Well, as we're going back, let's go up to the front because I think Helium's been quite close to Aradhya, but unable to go for a move. So let's see what Helium has got packing. He's just got 2 more laps to finish this up, and I think he's probably abusing all of his DRS at this stage. He's closer to Aradhya than he previously was. Will he be able to go for a move? Let's see. It's all about the exit. How quick of an exit can he get in? It's not quick enough as Aradhya's really maximizing on the exits, which is keeping his car ahead and in these fatal zones, as we say. And that's DRS activated for Helium as Helium's going for a move. He's trying to go for a move on the inside in. He's locked up his brakes. Raj is still out there, but Helium is unable to complete that move. But again, Helium's going to get another chance down towards turn 4. It's important that he keeps the inside line as he's trying to get the position. Has he got the inside line? He's not. Aradhya's still ahead and defending against the Aston Martin, and it's all down towards this lap. Again, if there's a move coming, it's gonna be around turn 10 because there's no other place that Helium can go for a move, and Aradhi Gupta locks up and he's got a very bad exit out of that corner. If there's a move coming, it's coming here. Is the Aston Martin gonna go for a lunge? And he's not. And he locks up as well. Helium is close enough though. Would he try something here? With DRS activated, Aradhya still has a better exit and he's quite far away to do anything at this stage of the race. As we see Aradhya finishing up on this last sequence of corners, I think it's pretty much a done deal for Aradhya Gupta as he's inching towards turn 15, the last corner, where he needs to make sure again that ERS light is blinking. I wonder if Helium is thinking about anything right now. He's a bit too far away to do anything, but you never know at this last few stages of the race. You could go for something. As we see Aradhya Gupta coming across the line, your winner for today in P1, Aradhya Gupta, followed by P2, and Danish finishing up at P3. Pre the Pro finishing in P4, Destroyer Attack in P5, Tony Hakanen in P6, Moto finishing in P7. Gamer Bosna somehow made his way up to P8, right behind the McLaren, and so is Dark Knight in the McLaren in P9, followed by Z-Dave in P10. Gaudi has somehow made it through in P11, and Philippe, surprising, is in P12, which he must have had some incident because I'm pretty sure he was right behind Gamer Bosna and sort of with Moto, but must have had some incident. We have P13 of PS3 Games, Vicious in P14, and the Mindful Thinker in P15, which is going to cross the line in a minute or two. Well, that was an interesting race. Again, Aradhya Gupta, well, essentially making the move when it counted and getting the job done at this stage of the race. He was looking extremely quick as we have a caution, as there's a car that has left the game. Of course, that's fine. But as alternating, quite an interesting race, quite a topsy-turvy race, especially for the Ferraris, as we saw a lot of close calls and a lot of unfortunate incidents as well. And the driver there, Aradhya Gupta, yeah, that's fair. I think I would say that's a fair shout for Aradhya Gupta there. As we see Aradhya get on the top step, followed by the 2 Aston Martins. It's quite a good day for the Aston Martins, I'd say, and quite a good day for IIC as they've extended their lead against the Fast Fridays Racing League drivers. Yeah, well, we're trying to see if we can get, let's say, the podium sitters in this session. But Fury, if you're still listening, could you see if you can go through the race directory and just look at the timings and yep, go through the drivers' incidents, pit stops, and all that data? Yeah, that's fine. The morning should be good enough. All right, so we're still seeing if we can get some podium sitters in here. I'm not sure if that's possible in this stage. We will check. Until then, let's see. I believe that's gonna be it for us, guys. We won't be having the podium interviews at this moment, but I think it's a good enough race where we can end it here. And my final comments for the race again, we had a lot of fun. And considering the way the race panned out, again, a lot of safety cars, a lot of action, a lot of different drivers trying to go for that podium position. And in the end, I think the Ferrari's been a bit unlucky, although they had amazing pace, I would say. And considering the rivalry between these two leagues, IRC is sort of inched further ahead of their lead, but we might see a bit, we might see the other, the Racing Fast Friday Racing League push ahead the next stage. We never know what might happen in these next few races. But again, stay tuned for the coming races. We'll definitely be racing each week. Again, we have Suzuka, I believe, which is the next track, which will be again another fun track. And after that, we have uh Brazil, which with Interlagos basically, and then we have a mystery track, which again we'll decide later on. But there's a lot more racing action that's coming for us in these next few weeks, and with the hiatus that F1 has at this stage, it'll be fun to see these drivers race for that top step. So definitely join us next week as well.